Hi, I'm Alex.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and we are AL Weddings.
You can find us online at alweddingsllc.com. And what we're trying to do, we're starting a new kind of vlog that we're going to kind of hopefully keep up with pretty regular, but just to kind of show what we're going through planning a wedding.
Right.
So we're going to kind of talk about what our goals are and kind of what they're turning into from what we're figuring out. So we do photography here in Birmingham, and we go to all these weddings and really never have any idea of what they cost and what our expectations should be versus what our budget is.
Right. I would say the biggest part is we are trying to plan a nice wedding quickly for $5,000. And I know there are many people laughing right now going, oh my goodness. And yes, it has been frustrating. I think the biggest shocker lately was finding a venue, because many of you know venues can range from, technically you could find one for $500 all the way up to tens of thousands of dollars people could spend on these venues. But we have searched and found some great prices on a lot of venues, really throughout Alabama, but mostly in the Birmingham area.
But what really was our first issue is we are kind of planning a wedding that we didn't know was to the standards of quick. We started planning probably about 9 months away from our date. We had an original date that was further along, but got changed to kind of work with Sarah's schooling. So basically now we're at the 7-month mark of getting this wedding planned, and everywhere's booked. So we've looked at venues, and the ones that we find are the ones that are the expensive ones, you know. So we're trying to find, just like Sarah was saying, we're trying to find a nice venue within a budget. And, you know, a lot of people are saying that can't be done. So that's kind of what this is about, is we're wanting to show from where we start to what we end up with, because we're pretty confident that we can make it happen. So what we've found so far is we've looked at, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 actually went and looked at, but we've called probably every venue in the state of Alabama, from Huntsville to Auburn to Gadsden, pretty much everywhere. And 90% of the time it comes back is hey, we're already booked, do you want to change your date? And we can't. So we've just found this place that I've actually shot a wedding at, that I didn't even really think about. Sarah actually found it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's an awesome place. Hopefully we can go and get it checked out. And so we went and looked at it, and like I said, we love it. So turns out someone had already kind of put a bid in on it, however you want to say it, and we're supposed to go and look at it. So we've been, for the past week, kind of going backwards and forth with this lady, trying to get in there and just say, hey, we'll give you our money, you know, kind of push people out of the way. And we've been really nervous about that. So today we actually found out that we got it, and we put the deposit down, and so we're kind of moving in the right step of staying on our budget, which we didn't think we were going to. We already thought that we were going to have to change it, but we found this place, and Sarah can kind of explain a little bit more.
So just so everybody knows, we actually ended up booking Avondale Park. They have an amphitheater and they have a villa. The amphitheater is usually used for the ceremony, and the pricing on it was, I think, about 6 hours for $350, and then for 10 hours was $500, which is awesome deals. And best part, you don't have to do any seating or anything. They already have this cool kind of rustic, rocky seating that your guests can sit on. They don't get dirty or anything. It's actually really nice. And then from there, the villa is a nice, secluded, I don't even know how to really explain it.
Kind of up on a hill.
It has a certain type of charm to it that as long as you don't have a ton of people, it will suit pretty much in the small wedding, probably up to about 150 people. But it's the same price as the amphitheater, and it's awesome.
Yeah. So what kind of made us really go to it was we didn't have to do really any. They don't make us do anything as far as like a caterer or serving alcohol or anything. It's kind of free reign. We can bring whoever we want, make it whatever, and that's kind of the thing that seems to be the big budget jump for a lot of places around here, like B&A and some of the other places. You have to do everything through them. So your room may be $500, but your catering's $15. And one thing we didn't mention is we're wanting to stick around 75 people. So not even a big wedding. And some of these places that we called and we looked at and started to kind of get a pricing together for food was already getting to the top of our budget for the whole thing, the dress, my suit, and everything. So, these places were being $5,000 and $6,000 when our whole budget for everything we want to be $5,000. So we found that. I don't know if you said that, but we got both the amphitheater and the villa for pretty much all day for under $1,000. I think it was $900 to be exact.
Right. And then the only thing that you really have to pay other than that is you pay one police officer. I think they said that accommodates really up to 400 people at their facility. At $30 an hour, you have to do a 4-hour minimum, which is absolutely almost nothing just to have a little bit of security, and that covers your alcohol security and stuff like that as well. But they come and clean, pick up trash and stuff like that. However, you can choose to hire a cleaning crew, you can choose to hire their tables and chairs, you can choose a lot of the things they offer, but you don't have to do it, which I think is a big thing. Like, you can kind of play around with different ideas of what you want to do. And I know for us, we're going to kind of have some games, and they have an awesome big field that we can play a lot of the fun outdoor games and not just be your typical everyday wedding reception. Parking, they have anywhere from valet assisted to you don't even have to pay for do the parking at all either. The lady that runs it is very, very nice, very funny, and sometimes you don't expect that from somebody who is working with the venue. However, just in general, if Avondale isn't exactly what you're looking for, I suggest wherever you're from to look at your local city parks, state parks, anything like that, because all of those, from what I found, that's what I've been trying to stick with. Those are great budget-friendly places because they don't depend on your money. They just kind of like it. I mean, it's kind of an extra bonus for them. They're not trying to give you crazy numbers. I think the highest place around here was some state parks that were a couple $1,000s, but that's really still a pretty good deal.
Yeah, and we had even, you're probably like, well, why didn't y'all go with one of those? Well, we've went and looked at, pretty much everyone that's on like the state park list online, and they're all booked. So I guess our date must be popular. It's May 10th. We haven't said that, but it's May 10th. So apparently that's a big date. I didn't think that would be, considering how hot it gets here in Alabama around that time. But so we've looked at that route, but there have been probably 3 that we've wanted to do, but they just weren't available. So we booked that. Some other deals that we've gotten that kind of help us, that we have started to get everything planned, is we randomly found a suit, a very nice suit for me from Express. It was like a $400 suit on clearance for I think $160 by the time we found a coupon code, and it was on sale or on clearance and everything. So we got a suit for me, like a full piece suit, very nice, from Express for $160, and hopefully it'll be here in a few days and I can show it to y'all. So that's another good thing is just start looking and sign up for their newsletters or whatever. I know even H&M, they may not be the best quality, but you're only going to wear it for a day, and we've already priced out what to rent a tux was going to cost, and it was going to be anywhere from like $140 to $200 for what I wanted. And so it made sense just to go ahead and buy that. So she was just looking online and randomly found it. So that's already cleared out of our way. So we've got that. You got a good deal on your dress.
I think one of the things that really helped us save a little bit of money was attending our local bridal show. The one in the Birmingham area is the Southern Bridal Show. It comes about twice a year. And that really has given us a few coupons to use in our wedding planning. I got $50 off my dress from David's Bridal. Now when I went, I had not anticipated to buy my dress there, but just take everything they have anyways. You'll come home with a bag full of stuff and just sort through it, see what you need and don't need. And then we also won a little $500 off coupon from one of the photographers there. Some of them will have like little games that you can play, and it may not always be $500, but a lot of them will do $100 or $200, a couple $100. And that, if you end up booking that photographer and you actually like their work, it works out great. You get a great deal on a photographer, and you're not spending as much money.
Yeah, and that's one thing. We as photographers and videographers and all that, we definitely see the value in spending the money on a photographer, which that was the first thing we booked, not just because of the deal. That was the first thing that we even started looking for. We knew we had a date, and that's what we started looking for. So, and we had already pretty much, knew the our competition or whatever, but we already knew who we kind of wanted to do. But we went to this bridal show and ended up finding someone that was out of state that we liked. And her work was just as good as anybody else's that we were looking at. And like I said, Sarah spun a wheel and just happened to win a $500 off the thing. So it wasn't just like, oh, we got handed $500 off. It was, Sarah won it. So it was really cool that we got to save that money in that way. So we know that everybody's not going to be able to save that, but regardless, find a decent photographer. Sometimes Craigslist can be okay, but the finding someone that does it for $500 is, I would say most of the time it's not going to be a good deal. You may not be happy, especially if you actually value photography or video. It's probably not going to work out, and you're probably going to beat yourself up over it later. So we booked that, and we got that for $1,500 and some change, $1,500 and some change. That was with the engagement session and a full day of shooting during the wedding. So we can't beat that. So we got that. Then I know we're going to kind of wrap it up. This is getting kind of long, but you talked about your dress, right? Mm-hmm. So the only other thing that we've got booked now is the honeymoon, which was the second thing. We've done it way backwards. And that was another thing we just happened to get a good deal on. And the honeymoon is not within our $5,000 budget. It's completely separate. So the $5,000 that's specifically the wedding, and then we've been saving for the honeymoon. So we got a honeymoon to Jamaica. We had originally wanted to go to like St. Thomas and stuff like that, but again, we wanted to stay within a budget but do something awesome. Like that's kind of what this is about, is being able to be on a budget but to end up having a wedding and a honeymoon and all that doesn't look like it was a budget wedding or economical wedding. So we went, and another lady that we met at the bridal show, and we went and sat and talked with her and kind of told her what our expectations were and what we wanted and our money and all that. And she was like, well, St. Thomas may be a little bit out of your budget for what you're wanting to do and how long you're wanting to stay and all that. And she was like, well, Jamaica is really nice. So we had kind of looked at that, and something we had never thought about doing, but to be honest, they're almost the same. And from what research we've done, Jamaica has more to offer per dollar. You know what I'm saying? So like for the amount of money you spend, you almost get more. So we booked with a travel agent, which I would highly recommend. She's walked us through pretty much everything that we need she does it all, plane tickets, books the reservations, all that. So we got a really good deal on it's like a butler suite in Jamaica. It's a exclusive sandals resort. Whole thing, $3,000. That's a flight that has one layover or whatever you call it. And like I said, it's the suite up under a penthouse. So I mean, like, it's $3,000 may sound like a lot compared to, like, just going to the beach or something, but that's a week stay. That's your flight for 2 people. I mean, unlimited food, which we can't wait. I mean, you can seriously sit and eat for a week. You don't pay for anything. Alcohol, you can drink as much as you want. There's jet skis, scuba diving, and some of the other little things come with like small, like $50 or $75 fees, but I mean 90% of it is all you just sign up for it and you go and do it. So I think that was originally like a $6,000 or something like that stay, but I don't even remember why it was on sale.
I would say it has something to do with booking in advance.
Yeah,
like, don't wait until, even though like your honeymoon is not really as big as like your wedding, I would say book it pretty far in advance. Like, if the rules say you should be booking your venue a year out, you should probably be booking your honeymoon a year out, not because somebody might take your seat on the plane, but more or less because you can save money. And we are both all about saving money. It's not any kind of economical status or anything like that. It's just the fact that
everybody likes to save money.
Yeah, it's crazy to spend all this money. Why would you spend $10,000 on a venue when you could spend that money doing other things, actually enjoying yourself? Because in reality, it is just one day, and the only people that are going to remember it the most is going to be the person that's sitting next to you.
Right.
Just to kind of recap, though, we have booked a honeymoon. We have booked our venue, photographer, we have a dress, and we have a suit. And we have told y'all every price that we kind of paid throughout that. If you have any questions about surrounding areas, no matter if it's something that we looked at, chances are we can kind of point you in the right direction of any venue. Good photographers, food, things like that. So feel free to hit the contact button and you can contact us through there, or hit us up on Facebook. All you have to do is search AL Weddings and you will find us on there as well. Probably the next video we'll be talking more about decorations and how to save money by DIYing, and that will be really fun.
Interesting. So we know this was a long video, but we hoped everybody kind of watched it because, like I said, this is, we didn't think we were going to be able to stay within our budget just a few days ago, and we finally got where we need to be. We're on the right track to saving the money. We've got the big money things out of the way. So we just wanted to kind of share with people and show that it can be done, and end up, in 7 months showing you what the outcome is. So it'll be a little bit of a video thing that we kind of do, I guess, just whenever we kind of want to sit down and talk to a camera. But yeah, so I guess that's it for right now. Again, contact us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/ALweddings. And then our website is alweddings.llc.com. And then all of our contact information, emails, phone numbers are on there. Feel free to call us, email us, text, Facebook, whatever, Twitter.
We're by our phones all the time, so chances are you'll get a pretty quick response.
Big social media. So anything anybody needs, we like to help as much as possible, and especially help people save money. So with that, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.